Ciao friends, it's Liz, simpleitaliancookie.com. Glad you could make it, whether you are watching this in real time or as a replay. Today I wanted to just do a really quick video because I'm going to be using up some leftovers, and I want to talk about how to make your pasta sauce creamy. Kind of like a vodka sauce type of texture, but without making a vodka sauce. Really quick and easy, and so I have some pasta going. I'm just making up some rotini, so I'm going to go ahead and drain that. I'm going to chop up some of my leftover chicken. I had some chicken cutlets the other night, so I want to use that up. And then I also need some cheese, which I'm always forgetting. I gotta check my mic setting. Well, hopefully everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. All right. So very, very simple, and I'm sorry if my audio is bad. I forgot to put my mic on, so I'm just kind of pulling from the computer over here. But yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drain the pasta. Actually, I don't even think anybody's on yet. I'm going to go ahead and get my... All right, let's see. Test 1, 2. All right, cool. So now that we have the mics working, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drain the pasta, and I'm going to show you the secret ingredient if you haven't figured it out already. And turn off my induction burner. And for this recipe, there's no need to reserve any of the pasta water. I am going to just go ahead and let the rotini sit there. And for this, I'm just going to turn this on at a low heat and take some of my leftover pasta sauce. And I'm just going to add some in. And for this, we don't want a lot of sauce, because it's going to be a thicker sauce. And all we're going to do is we're just going to take some ricotta. And if you've been watching this week, you'll know that I've been using this in a bunch of my recipes. And I still have some left. Probably need to replenish. I like to stir it up so it gets all the liquid all the way, or whatever it is. And I'm going to go ahead and just give a little bit, like a tablespoon or so, and just mix it in. Okay, I'm making a loud noise here on the burner. Have some water underneath. Yeah. Yep, that took care of it. So you can see, let me just show you here. Switch camera views. So you have here, you can see, back a little bit, there we go. I'm just going to mix it, and you'll see the color will start to change as you mix in that ricotta. Okay. And I'm just going to keep mixing it in. And so one thing about an induction burner, and I'm going to actually do a video on them, is it's a nice safety feature. It's not really safety, it's just how it works because it's induction. It won't run unless the pan is actually on top. Of course, it has to be an induction ready pan, but it's really nice. So that's why it turned off, if you happen to notice. So all you're going to do is go ahead and then add in the pasta that you want, however much you want. And again, you really don't need a thick, like a ton of sauce, like you would be doing like with some, a regular pasta sauce. If you want to add a little bit more, you can just do that. You're not going to mess anything up. Yeah, I like that. I could use maybe a little bit more creaminess. This recipe didn't really come from anywhere. Just, I've done it before, adding it. I mean, and really, if you think about it, it's just when you make things like stuffed shells, or you make uh, like a regular pasta bake with rigatoni, same thing. It's pasta sauce and then lasagna, pasta sauce, ricotta. So why not just add it in to thicken your own sauce and have a little milkier, creamy pasta sauce? Okay, and like I said, for this recipe, I just happen to have some leftover cutlets, so I'm just going to cut these into small strips. And you don't have to do this, of course, but it's just a way to use up some of your leftovers, which is what I have. I love chicken with my pasta. And there's just a lot of different ways you can make chicken with pasta without really it being a recipe per se. I'm just going to toss that in here. Let that heat through, which will just take about a minute. So if you're wondering what type of pasta would be good for this, I really have to say I wouldn't be too picky about it. I mean, I just happen to pick this because I've been eating some, spaghetti, angel hair, and spaghetti this week already. So I just kind of wanted something different. You could do farfalle or something else, whatever you might have on hand. What I like, one thing that's really nice about doing these type of recipes when you're not using a lot of a heavy sauce, okay, is it's kind of a rule of thumb that when you use pasta shapes that have the grooves in them, okay, like this rotini, that will help the sauce to stay in it. Okay, so if you have dishes, recipes that are very light and you just kind of want it to cling to it, but you want it to stay in there, those grooves help it. That's the same with penne. So like, just when you do just an oil type sauce, that comes in handy that way. Okay. All right. So this is good. And literally that's how easy this recipe is. I'm going to toss on just a little bit of the Romano. Romano um, is is a good is a good um, is a good cheese when you really want a nice strong flavor. And I just find that when I use Romano versus Parmesan, I don't need as much. Um, so again, that just kind of is right now is just adding a little bit. It has more salty flavor to it. It does cost a little bit more. Okay, but what I do when I go to the see, we shop at BJ's, and you can get it at Sam's Club or Costco. We get the block of the Romano cheese, and then I gotta do a video on it, guys, because I have tips for how to really preserve the longevity of that cheese and keep it in the freezer. So, but anyway, so we buy it and then we grind it here and we freeze it, or you can freeze it, as a block. But I just find that it really does go much further than Parmesan. But you know what? Yeah, you're diehard Parmesan fans, and that's the way they like it. So I'll just grab a plate. I don't have my pasta bowls with me, and serve it up and see. So I think the chicken looks good. I think it does. Smells good. It's just a really great way to change things up. You've got your pasta sauce in there from earlier in the week. You don't want it to go bad. Maybe it's not enough to freeze, or you just want something a little different. Add some ricotta into it. And there you have it. Oh, and I know what I forgot. One other thing. So if you want to, especially if you have fresh basil, can't believe I forgot this. Sorry, guys. Just chop up some fresh basil leaves. And just toss it in. You always want to toss it in at the end of cooking because you don't want the heat to take out all the oils, which is where all the flavor is. That's why you always add it at the end. When you have a sauce, when you have a recipe, you want to top it with it, and you just kind of roll them up and then throw them in. And they will wilt down in no time. I'm going to take the last one here and just put it in the dish that I just served for myself. I am a fan of basil in my pasta. But not everybody is. My husband isn't. He just informed me of that before I went live here. I don't like basil all the time with my pasta and stuff. Well, okay. So another reason to put it on at the end, so that way people can get their own. So yeah, smells so good. Smells so good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Grab some of that chicken, and I will show you a close-up. And here you go. How's that? That looks good. That looks delicious. So, I love it. And to think that I made those from leftovers. Sauce, pasta I cooked up fresh. Actually did have some pasta left over from my last live, but it wasn't enough. And add some ricotta. Oh, and the leftover chicken in it. Wow. Cutlets. So good. So I hope this gave you some ideas and helped you out. Like I said, it's not a recipe per se. It's just kind of one of those kitchen hacks on how to use what you have to make a new dish. And hope it inspired you with some new ideas. And make sure to, if you have any of your own, feel free to comment on them below. But I'm going to go ahead and close out here. And I want to thank you. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Sign up for my newsletter. I'll put a link in the description below. I send out recipes every week, multiple times, multiple recipes that I know you're just absolutely going to love. They're all easy, I promise you. All right. Well, and delicious. Got to say that too. Well, anyway, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Grazie e ciao.